And the NBA Finals is now knotted at one game apiece. Key guys, Warriors 18-0 run to start.
20-0.
Yeah. Well, 20-0, but 18-0 after half to start the second half.
To me, I think that it was incredible how the Raptors were able to let that up. I mean, to me, that's impossible. That should be impossible. That should never happen.
Well,
it didn't shock me because I do feel like the Warriors, it just came up in their DNA. That's what they do.
Yep.
But you have to be ready for that if you're the Raptors. And so I think I was disappointed in the Raptors giving up that many points without scoring. It was unbelievable. That hasn't happened since what, the 1970s?
Since the merger.
Yeah, since the merger,
1976.
you've never seen anything like that. But third quarters have been owned by the Warriors during this.
Everybody knows that.
During this dynasty, the third quarter of doom, it's just amazing how, and we saw it all in the playoffs, how many times they trailing by double figures in the first half,
Especially against Portland, that Portland
and they
series.
just turn it on. And they did it once again. That's a nod to the coaching staff, adjustments they made, and obviously the star players that they have. How great was Boogie Cousins in this game? Iguodala, once again, coming through in a big spot when you need him. But
He's
this
clutch.
Warriors team is
Draymond
so
Green was
good.
incredible, too.
He's so far Finals MVP, in my opinion, as well.
I can't wait for Cam to get back so we can argue about that.
Yeah.
I said Draymond would
That's
be.
right.
But I think the thing about the run that the Warriors go on is that it becomes so. What? What?
Everyone's jumping like,
Oh, boy.
it's
No.
one game.
Listen.
Well, it's one
The Raptors
game.
are not winning the series.
And the
We didn't
Raptors still
say
had a chance to
anything.
win at the end.
It just
All that being
disappointed.
They
said,
did.
But
the Raptors
the
were
point
still
is,
in position
they
to win the
didn't.
game.
They should have,
Well,
and
we'll
they
see what
didn't.
happened game 3.
Here's
They
the thing.
should've.
Here's the thing about the third quarter run.
They lost at home to Magic to start. They're going to be all right.
You are supremely
They
good.
all
needed
right.
that win.
They're all right.
They needed
They
that
all
win.
right?
Even with
They
the way
don't-
the Boogie has come on?
Clay might be hurt now. I mean, they're all right. They're all right.
Okay.
Then they have to take advantage of that.
They're going to need a strategy to avoid those
hang on.
third quarter
We'll see what happens.
slumps,
Then what's
too.
your take from this game? Give me your take, other than they're all right. There's got to be more to what you saw.
Well, I think Kawhi played well. Van Vliet's playing good. It just
He's
came
playing
down
well.
to the end, like the
Draymond
they
Siakam
went. They're
was
not
an
going to have
obvious
it.
matchup
They're not
issue.
going to have another stretch where they go on an 18-0 run. That's not going to happen again. And I'm sure that like at the end of the game, the Warriors went like 5.5 minutes with only 3
Without
points.
scoring, yeah.
So like it's going to balance itself out, and I still like the Raptors.
Let me give you
chances.
numbers on a matchup that is a key matchup in this series. As we saw in Game 1, Pascal Siakam was outstanding, right? He was terrific. Now, Draymond covered him only a little bit. He scored 12 points on Dre, 5 of 8 shooting in Game 1. Draymond, after that game, said, that's on me. I've got to take him out of the series. Game 2 matched up head-to-head. Siakam scored 1 point, 0 for 6 in
You
that
think that's gonna
matchup.
He
happen
locked him
again?
down.
Well, I mean,
That's one
since he
time.
caught his attention, he has shut
You're
him
right.
down.
Well-
It got very physical. They allowed it to get physical. That is a difference in this series. And now they go on the road where the Raptors are, 4-4 on the road in the postseason, where they're very good at home, and the Warriors win everywhere. So this series has shifted with this
Well,
game.
we'll see. We'll see.
I do like that the Raptors. I'll let you talk in a second,
Go.
Monica.
No, I'm
I do
listening.
like that they threw in the junk defense. I thought that was interesting.
The boxing one.
Seeing the boxing
I didn't
one,
have an issue with the boxing
it
one
brought me
either.
back
Yeah.
to
That's
my
like middle
high school
school.
days.
It's still basketball.
They have boxing
Desperation
one and
defense,
Steph
that's what that
Curry.
is.
We've seen more
That's Nick
of
Nurse
that
going back in the
defense
book, going, wait,
heavily
wait,
in
wait.
this
Yeah.
I'm
series.
sure that defense gave Jeff Van Gundy agita.
I don't
Last
think
one.
I'm not going to write Toronto off at this point. I will still say I think the Warriors are going to pull this one out. And I'm not saying that we should jump all up and down. I think it'll be a longer series than I anticipated for sure. But I don't think that they have the luxury of withstanding that third quarter run that the Warriors go on and continuing to make it close necessarily. So to me, in order to avoid that run, you've got to get on the glass so that the Warriors can't get out in transition. And I don't know that Kawhi looks the same to me as he did against
No.
the 76ers at all.
He's wobbling.
I mean, he's putting up the numbers, but it is a laborious.
And by
When
the
he
way-
had that pump fake last night, and Quinn Cook had backed up, and then he didn't even jump into Cook to draw the contact,
draw the foul.
or didn't attack Cook because Cook's hand was on the ground.
I know.
He's
I was
trying
like,
to get to
ooh.
the foul line because
Kyle
He was
Lowry.
16 of 16 from the
Let's
foul
talk
line.
about
He's got
Kyle
to play
Lowry.
smarter.
Yeah.
6 for 20
he's the
so
key
far.
to their team.
And fouling out with 3
But he
minutes to
fouled
go.
94 feet from the basket.
Stupid.
You don't do that.
Well, especially when you know you have 5
You
fouls.
don't do
He's
that.
a veteran. The way
Look.
that he came out like
Yeah.
that, he shouldn't have been that aggressive.
All
Absolutely.
right, but you know what? Again, we know Kawhi Leonard is a star, right? And Steph Curry is a star, all right? But we always talk about that the supporting cast guys
Absolutely.
are going to be the ones that you watch. Who's going to make the big shots? So Siakam was the guy in Game 1. Game 2, Andre Iguodala.
Who doesn't get enough credit in my
I
mind
mean, what
for
a
all how important
Here's the play
he is.
here, by the way, that I think is obviously critical. Now, look, they almost get the turnover here.
Steph
Oh,
almost turned
just
it over.
steal
They almost
that.
get a turnover there. Sean Livingston really was dogging it all game until that play, and then Iggy wide open. You trust him to make that shot, and I love the fact that he points to Livingston. Never mind me making the shot. I mean, he had all kinds of time there.
Marc Gasol didn't even attempt, though,
it
either.
was the ability, it was Livingston jumping to the basketball. And you guys know as players,
gotta
that is
meet the
such
ball.
a small fundamental. But so many times when we see turnovers, it's
Kawhi
because
almost had
why?
that,
And
too.
he
He
almost
should
got
have
it.
had that.
But if Livingston doesn't jump to that ball, that's a steal going the other way. Maybe we're talking about a different outcome.
And Iguodala is modern days Robert Horry, huh?
Yeah.
He's hitting
Big
all the
shot, Bob.
Big
Yeah.
shot, Bob.
Yep.
And on defense repeatedly, too, and he's not 100%. What happens if Clay can't go in Game 3?
Kevin Durant might be ready to play in Game 3. They've got 2
Do you
days
actually
off.
believe that?
I do. He might
I
be.
don't think he will.
don't.
I got
think
people.
that
I got
they-
people in the Bay Area telling me that he could be as ready as early as Game 3.
If
He
they
hasn't
had lost,
practiced yet.
If they had
It's
lost
been
the
like a
second
got 2
month.
game,
days.
It's almost been a month now.
He's got to.
Almost-
He's got to practice. And Kerr said after one practice,
But
I'll
why
play him.
push him? It's tie. Why push him?
Well, because if Clay's out and he can give you at least 80% of Kevin Durant, you'll take 80%.
For how long? How long
80%
you
I
doing
don't
him
think
on
he'll
the floor?
play.
Well, 99% of the league.
You put him in the game for what you can get out of him.
If
This
they
is the
had
finals.
lost
You
game
got all
two,
summer to
if they
rest.
had lost game 2, then they would have pushed Durant. They
Maybe.
pushed Durant to play.
Yeah, maybe.
But they won.
No one's pushing
They
Durant
won.
to do anything. He's going to do what his body
You
tells
don't
him.
think he doesn't want to play?
Of course he wants to play, but he's going to listen to his body.
Right.
He wanted to play against the Rockets.
All right.
I mean, but he had to wait and listen to his body. You got to listen to your body.
You're at home. You have a chance to take a stronghold of the series. If Klay Thompson is not available to you, and Kevin feels like
Well-
he gets a practice in and he feels good, he is on the court now. He is on the court. He hasn't practiced yet. If he can get on into a practice and be good enough, I can see them playing him. Whether it's
I
3
don't
or
think-
4, I think we'll see him.
Okay.
Well, we've talked about this in other series, though, too. The Warriors get an opportunity to go home. You've talked about role players playing better on the road. Sure, if he's available, fantastic. If he
They play
isn't,
better at home.
we saw Quinn Cook come up with some big threes last night. Hopefully Looney's not injured in a way that he would miss time. But the role players for the Warriors could step up and play very
At
well at
home.
Oracle.
No, I mentioned that Lowry has not had a good series through 2 games. Then you have the comparison of Pascal Siakam and Marc Gasol, Game 1
Yeah.
versus Game 2, and neither was close. As you look at Siakam, 32 points to 12, and Gasol 20 to 6. Put that together with 2 off games from Kyle Lowry, and there's
And
a
then
situation.
throw in Boogie Cousins.
Well, you start Cousins, which is a risk, but a really interesting move, and I thought Cousins was fantastic.
Were you surprised at his stamina? Because I was.
I'm just so happy for him. I mean,
He's had
after
to
all
battle.
the heartbreak he's
Yeah.
had, man, and
Yeah.
the Achilles, and,
right?
and then the quad. I mean, he was looking at $200 million, and then he had to take $5 million last year. He's going to probably take another like $5 million this year coming up.
I don't know why I'm not feeling sorry for him.
No, I mean, but
You had to take
Let
5
me ask
minutes.
you,
no, I'm just saying,
really sorry.
You're a player.
How are you going to make it?
Is that something?
Poor guy.
Is that something that a player thinks about? Man, I'm
Absolutely.
out $200 million.
It
Or
messes
whatever.
up your psyche a little bit, you know, and I'm sure it's bothering him because, you know, he was right on the cusp of signing that, and now he had to start back from zero, and then he had to start back from zero
Yeah.
again. But he's a hard fighter, and, you know, hats off to him because he really, really did his thing.
Game changer.
And he
in Game
appreciates
2.
the game now that he has to sit
Absolutely.
out.
That's what happens.
Appreciation,
By
that's
the
a
way,
word.
Almost another triple-double. Missed it by 1 assist. What a performance. There would have been 4 straight triple-doubles for him. Amazing. I'm telling you, right now, he's my finals MVP leader.
Were you? Where were you
come
with
on.
Green? Were you?
That was my. I
Yeah.
said Green or
Right.
Clay could be
And-
MVP.
I
and
and I
Cam
like
beat me
Steph
down.
Curry. Cam and I like Steph Curry.
All right, we're gonna-
And now, as the season progresses,
gonna make
analysis. Change our minds here.
We'll be monitoring that the rest of the way. For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.